Hadestown the musical is in theaters for only 5 nights, so jump on this now while you can. If you have seen Hadestown and want to revisit it again up close, if you've never seen it and you're dying to see it, this is a great chance to do that. We like to do this kind of thing here at Breakfast All Day, like when, the Hamilton capture was in theaters, or Come From Away, or Merrily We Roll Along. Like, we love this kind of thing. So if you do as well, come hang out with us. What happens in Hadestown?
Wait for me, I'm coming. Wait, I'm coming with you.
It's basically the Orpheus and Eurydice myth with a little bit of Hades and Persephone thrown in. And it's all set in, what are we saying, like the 19 teens? What's the aesthetic here?
Oh, I don't know. It's New Orleans.
It's New Orleans, and it's kind of fin de siècle, early 20th century. The idea here is that Hadestown is a factory that you can take a train to, but you cannot come back from it. Mm-hmm. And the only reason that Eurydice goes there is because she needs food and shelter, because why wouldn't she? There's actually this great sort of like socialist parable going on here, where it's about like, if people are expected to surrender their souls and their identities for the basic needs that everyone should have available to them. And of course, Orpheus goes to get her back, and there's one condition, and it's a little tricky for him, but so this is a story about gods and whatnot, and so you've got like André de Shields plays Hermes, Patrick Page in a boot, poor guy, is having to do the show with like a broken ankle or whatever. Patrick Page plays Hades. Reeve Carney, of course, is Orpheus. This was a big breakthrough show for him. Multiple Tony winner. The show then went on with the original Broadway cast to the West End, which is where this version was filmed. And, it's an intimate theater. You can tell, like, from the shots of the audience, it's not a giant space. But the cameras get where they need to be. I don't know the behind the scenes, but I assume this is one of those things where they shot one without an audience there so that the camera person can be right up on stage and get really close to folks. It's directed by Brett Sullivan, who's no newbie at this. If you've seen the Newsies Broadway musical on Disney Plus, he shot that, and the Frozen one. He's done Billy Elliot Live. Like, he's an old hand at this. And, it's funny. I think we used to always feel the need to give the caveat of like, oh, they don't just plant the camera in the audience and let it go. I don't think anybody's doing that anymore. I think, that was a thing back in the day. Like, if you watch the old Pippin one they did in the 70s, it feels weirdly distanced. But now I think they know how these things work. So if you're doing Come From Away, or you're doing Hamilton or whatever, like, there's a way to make it dynamic, to sort of not just recreate the experience of seeing it live in a theater, but to get closer than anybody in the audience ever could to certain moments, to certain sort of facial expressions, whatever. I know you are familiar with this musical. This was my first time listening to it. I didn't even know the story until the first 5 minutes, like, oh, we're doing, okay, got it. It is not necessarily you're not going to leave humming the tunes after one go. At least I didn't, but I enjoyed it all while I was listening to it. This is a muscular musical in terms of it is all singing. There's a lot of story being conveyed through songs, and a lot of character being conveyed through songs. And, it is appropriately sort of, it's not grimy, but it's definitely got a tactile kind of
steamy. It's like steamy Southern.
And the kind of a blue collar, sort of thing to it. I mean, once she gets to Hadestown and everybody's just sort of like drudgily, working away in this go nowhere factory. I was into it, and I think, if you're a fan of the show, you'll enjoy this opportunity to kind of relive the highlights and like I said, to get closer than you ever could from the audience. And if you are a newbie, but you are down for a Broadway show, I think this one is captured really well.
I disagree that you are not going to hum the song because I've had "Wait for Me, I'm coming" stuck in my head for days.
Okay.
Wait,
But did you after the first time you
saw it? Maybe not. But now I've seen this.
That's my point. That's my point.
So Nick and I saw this at the Pantages earlier this year. We've seen a whole bunch of shows in the past year, and this is our favorite. And part of what is so cool about it is like the energy of having the band on stage.
Yeah.
You know, it makes you feel like you're in like a New Orleans jazz club or whatever, and everyone is great. You did not mention Eva Noblezada, who is Eurydice, who is fucking astonishing.
She's great.
Is so good.
Yeah.
And you can really see how much she's like, she has to emote, you know, and there's a whole song she sings in the second act where she's just like on her knees at the front of the stage and she's crying and like singing full out. Like it's just her and there's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to hide. And she's so great. She's also been Sally Bowles in Cabaret.
Oh,
she's
nice.
Crazy talented. Yeah, I loved seeing this way because I think what they do here is they get the big moments, you know, the big ensemble moments and the enormity of those, but also the intimacy of like crucial exchanges between Orpheus and Eurydice and like crucial moments of truth. And you can really see them acting. And that's true with Patrick Page as well as Hades, who is this larger than life figure. But there's eventually a moment where like real emotion overcomes him.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's got this incredible, powerful, deep, rich voice, but then you really feel the emotion of what he's going through as well. I also loved Amber Gray as Persephone because she's insane. She's just, it's a crazy, I had forgotten. I don't think maybe the performance I saw wasn't quite as intense, but like she's a freak. She's hilarious. She's like the physicality of it is very like jumpy and goofy and that's a lot of fun. But then she's called upon to deliver more serious emotion and like, you know, truths that are uncomfortable.
They don't overdo this, but one of the cool things is that the show will use these sort of turntable within the stage to like for people if they're walking or, you know, it kind of for dance stuff. And every so often you'll get an overhead shot of that, which is very Busby Berkeley.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just think like, okay, yeah, you don't want to overdo this, but do once or twice. It's a little crumb for those of us who are watching this on film, and it's something that theater audiences would never have gotten, you know?
Yeah, there's an overhead shot. There's also like a shot from inside the pit when like the one circle is going down and you can see up into the lights. When I saw it at the Pantages, it did not have that kind of circular stage situation, but this is what the West End show is like. Yeah, that theater feels really intimate. And I was kind of worried at first because it begins with a quick little thing backstage of people getting their last looks and Patrick Page getting his boot on. Like he's got to navigate a circular staircase, like a tiny little narrow metal staircase with that boot. He's a pro. I was worried, but there's a lot of audience shots in the beginning though. And that kind of worried me because I'm like, oh no, I don't need to see anybody's reaction to this. I know how I feel. Yeah, they don't go too hard on that. And they stop that pretty early. But in the beginning, it's like, ooh, we're all filing into the theater in the West End. It's very exciting. And I'm glad that they dropped that pretty fast. Yeah.
They if you recall, they did that at the beginning of Come From Away. It's Come From Away. That's what it's called, right? The one
Come From Away. And I think American Utopia, you get some audience stuff
like
too.
People
the
kind of filing in and they're excited, and then thankfully we don't keep cutting to them to let us know how we're supposed to react to things.
Yeah, we do not. This won 8 Tonys, including Best Musical, and then André Shields, who's just a total delight. He's so charming, so much presence. He won for Best Featured Actor in a Musical, but it also won for its lighting design. And that is so crucial because what they do, I've seen this twice now. I don't know how the lamps don't like swing into each other because there's like 5 or 6 lamps and they're all around and they're like, wait for me. Like, how are they not like banging? I guess someone's holding it and like letting it go.
Yeah.
But it's like they do so much, I guess. Yeah, they do so much so effectively with like really spare lighting to indicate Eurydice's descent into Hades, to indicate a shift tonally and to indicate like an isolation as that climactic final sequence happens. Like it's cold and it's dark, but the spare lighting really does a lot to boost that. So they do a lot here.
Yeah, the sets are relatively minimal, but I think the lighting is doing a lot of work in conveying where you are and what's happening.
Yeah. And as was the case when I saw this live, I feel like Orpheus is actually the weak link. Like, you know, he's got this song to sing that's going to change the world and all that. And and
It's
Reeve
giving
Carney's
Roger
fine.
from Rent.
That's such a good comparison. And Reeve Carney's fine, but like the talent around him is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That I feel like he gets overshadowed, although he's like, you know, the central guy. Eva Noblezada, man, she's awesome. Anyway, if you can see this, we'll put a link down below to where you can get tickets and all that, because it's July 24th to 28th. It's only there for 5 nights. And if you love this kind of thing, you're going to be so glad that you took the time to go and check it out in the theater. So,
and I'm sure getting that, like the big theater sound is going to be really special too. I watched this on a link, but I can only imagine like getting the full Dolby rattling your sternum on this is going to be great.
For sure. And the fates are so great too.
Yes.
And they're so distinct and they bring so much like sass, but also a sense of dread and humor. And anyway, I love this. I'm going to say like a 9.
I'm an 8.5. Yeah, I think it's terrific. And I'm sure when I see it a second time, I will hum the tunes.
Yes. All right, great. Hadestown is out there. Will you see it? Let us know.